When we did The Big Sick, they worked on that script for 3 years, and no one bought it. They weren't getting paid. We just thought it was a good idea and a very difficult idea to execute well, because a lot of it takes place in a hospital. There's something kind of dark and sad about a woman in a coma. The immigrant experience in America wasn't something that you felt like the world was dying to have a movie about.
So, 9/11. No, I mean, I've always wanted to have a conversation about it with people.
You've never talked to people about 9/11?
No, what's your stance?
So for 3 years, they worked really hard to crack all those problems. Like, how do you make this interesting? How do you make this funny? How do you make people care about this? But I feel like so many movies are rushed, and the one thing I think that we are pretty good about is just not going into production if we're not feeling great about the script.
I'd like to know if you guys think that film can still have a social impact, and if so, how?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think there's any way to really know. How I think about it is Jon Stewart's work and South Park's work, I think, has led to a younger generation thinking about things differently, maybe being more tolerant. So if you're a kid and you've watched people like Jon Stewart and Trevor Noah make fun of people who are prejudiced and people who treat people bad or just bullshitters, you might begin to form your way of reading the news. But I don't know if one movie rocks the world in such a way that people go, wait a second, I don't like Trump. I don't think that's happening. But I do hope that if people see The Big Sick, they might think, oh, I don't know that much about a lot of people who immigrate to this country, and maybe I could tune in a little bit and be more compassionate. Television and streaming television is a black hole of need for product. And as a result, a lot of these services, they need so much stuff that they have to get out of the way.
Right.
And so they're willing to take chances. And something has happened, which I've noticed in TV, just from being in it for a very long time, is that there's now a profit motive in taking chances in television.
And there isn't in movies.
And it used to be lowest common denominator.
Yeah, right.
And now
Right.
it's like,
That's
how far
interesting.
can you go? And
Right.
the movies haven't found a way
To
to have that profit motive. Your movie is the example of, we can do this at this price and it can make this much money, and they need to place more bets that way. But their main bets are, does this work in China and Russia? And so that, that knocks out most of the movies that a lot of us want to make.
Right.
Because a lot of great movies, they're not built for Moscow.
Why did you think this guy was a movie star?
Look at him.
Exactly.
I put my money on Bloom.
Well, we all met Seth when he was 16 years old. Yeah. And so it's amazing to be at the table here with Seth as a producer.
That's nice.
It's a wonderful thing. And very early, we thought, oh, this is an interesting guy. We auditioned him for Freaks and Geeks. I got a tape, and I remember looking at it and just thinking Seth was hilarious. And I just thought, this is a really weird dude. And then when we started working on the show, we realized there was a very soulful person underneath his gruff exterior, and he was a great improviser, and we asked him to write for the TV show Undeclared after Freaks and Geeks got canceled. And then we table read Superbad years before it was made.
It took a long time to get it made.
No one wanted to make it. And the funniest part about it, which we always talk about, is that for a while there was a producer working with us.
Yes.
And he said, let me try to get it made. And he couldn't. And then he got a job as the head of a studio. And we said, I guess we'll make it now. And he said, no, I'm not going to make it.
It was shocking.
But Amy was the only person in town. It got turned down by every financier at every budget level.
Yes.
There were people that we said, what if we did it for like $1 million? And they're like, no. And I believe after Talladega Nights came out, and we were in a group of doing some great work for Sony, one day Amy said, let's just do Superbad. And then the same for Pineapple Express, when no one in town had any interest at all.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Be sure to subscribe for more videos from The Hollywood Reporter.